Hey yo, what up? It's your girl Bewitched Faun, coming in with episode 11 of Faun's Horror Corner, a series where I watch a random horror movie on Tubi and we talk about it. This week I watched P2 from 2007. Description Tubi gave us was, after leaving her office Christmas party, a woman must survive the night when she is trapped in a parking garage with a deranged security guard. Full disclosure, I have seen this before. It's definitely been a good bit of years, but I can already tell you that I enjoy this movie and I think it's a hidden gem. Before we get into the movie, a trigger warning is ahead. This movie contains themes of SA and has flashing lights. I will state when scenes with flashing lights start and stop, but please watch at your own discretion. With that all out of the way, let's get into the movie. It's Christmas Eve. Angela is working late with an irate client. A co-worker, Jody, comes in and they have a little chat, and then Angela continues working. Another worker walks in. She's less excited about this one. He attempts to small talk, but Angela is not in the mood. He goes right in with an apology about something, if you can even call it that. What about? No clue. But apparently he drank too much. Apology accepted and we move on. She makes a call to her family. It's just some talk about a Christmas party, excitedly waiting at home for her. Back to work she goes. Angela runs into a security guard, if I had to guess. He's getting ready to lock things up and she's about to leave, so they lock up and take the elevator down. We get some elevator small talk. A bickering couple joins the party. The small talk continues. They say Merry Christmas and go their separate ways. Angela gets a call from her family, asking about when she'll arrive. The call drops as she enters the parking garage, however. Can I be so honest, guys? Maybe it's because I grew up in a small town, but parking garages kind of creep me out. I could count on one hand how many times I've been in one, and they just give me so much anxiety. It's a long trek to her car, but we've arrived. She gets in and tries to get it started, but it's just not turning on. The frustration is understandable. Sounds are heard and we see through the cameras now. It appears she's being watched. She gets out of the car and takes a walk to the elevators, but the doors are locked. With that plan foiled, we go to the security office for the parking garage. She enters and a dog starts barking at her. The security guard comes out telling the dog to chill. She asks him to unlock the elevator and explains the car troubles. He starts fumbling around for his keys and asks what happened to the car. She says she's not sure and he starts mansplaining. Oh, you totally left your lights on. But Angela stands firm that she didn't. He finds the key and offers to jump her car for her, but she'd prefer to take the cab. Yet, he stays insistent. She agrees and he goes to get the item. Off to her car they go. He keeps talking, trying to have small talk while trying to jump her car, but it's just not working. Angela admits defeat and asks him to just let her into the elevator so she can get a cab. He keeps repeating that he was just trying to help. He helps carry her items to the elevator and just keeps on talking, then proceeds to awkwardly ask her if she wants to have dinner with him. Just kidding. Unless... She thanks him and gets on the elevator. In the main lobby now and no one seems to be around. She calls the cab, then she calls her sister and updates her on the situation. Now we wait. And don't forget that she's being watched. The cab arrives and gives her a call, but she's locked it and no one is around to let her out. After some fumbling with the door, she goes back to the garage and to the security guy there. She asks him to open the gate, but no response. And the cab got sick of waiting. Back to the office, she tells the guy to wake up. The cab left. The lights promptly turn off one by one. Pants would be shat. Using her flip phone as a light, she walks through. Sounds are heard. She calls out, but no response. After a bit of walking, she trips and falls over something. As she gets up, the guard is right behind her and chloroforms her. After putting up a fight, she gets knocked out. She wakes up in a bright room with Christmas music playing, and Santa in front of her at a table. She fully comes to, and the guard is right next to her, calming her down. She asks what happened. He says, "You just fell. You're okay." She feels sick. She gets up, but falls right back down as she's chained. He helps her back up and tells her to just relax. He set up a romantic-looking Christmas dinner table. He starts explaining the menu for dinner and asks how she feels. More importantly, she asks what happened to her clothes. His answer is, "Well, you fell and your clothes got dirty. Hey, how about some wine?" She tells him, "I don't know what's going on, but you better fucking untie me." Delusional, he keeps talking about wine and tries to have small talk. Anything she rightfully asks, he has a cheeky, innocent response back. He just wants her to relax after all. Wine gets poured and he makes a toast. We learn his name is Tom. Angela tries to reason with him, but he's living in Delululand. He's serving dinner now and she looks even more unnerved. The small talk attempts continue, but it's one-sided. He goes on a tangent about a book about love. Angela pulls the boyfriend card, says he's going to come looking for her, and he knows where she works. Tom seems shocked and asks personal questions. He seems like he's trying to poke holes in her relationship story. She says he's already on his way here. Tom asks about his car. He could be pulling up right now. He waits and looks around. He calms down and calls out Angela for lying to him, but she only lied because obviously she's lonely and she wants a good, caring man like Tom. But here's where it gets fucky. He He mentions she has a good family and he can name every one of them. He mentions that they must be worried and she should give them a call. He brings the phone over and tells her to think of something to say since she's such a good liar. So she calls them. She tells her sister she isn't feeling well and can't make it. And with Tom monitoring her every move, she talks to her mom a bit. She says she has the flu and needs some rest. They say I love you to each other and Tom ends the call. He's very happy to have Angela all to himself and tells her he has a present. He brings it to her and urges her to open it.
What's in the box?
She opens it and there's a VHS tape inside. He's excited and puts it in the player. It's a security video of Angela's co-worker attempting to force himself on her in the elevator. Tom really doesn't like that. He puts his belt on and asks her to take a walk with him. He shit talks the co-worker as Angela grabs a fork. The chain comes off and she stabs him with it. Rocky, the dog, goes ape shit and Tom handcuffs Angela. He pulls the fork out and pulls Angela back up. Now they're in his car. He's already moved on from the fork and they get moving. He plays around and pretends to drive drunk. He tells her he's seen her drive through here so many times. He drives deeper into the parking garage. Every question asked gets evaded. They pull up on Angela's co-worker, tied up to an office chair. This is Tom's present to Angela. He wants her to beat the shit out of him for what he did to her. She tries to say the guy made a drunk mistake and he apologized. Tom might hold him back and roast this guy to absolute bits. There's some debate, but Tom gets annoyed that Angela's trying to humanize herself. He's offended because he's such a good guy, obviously. After some further conversation, Angela says, okay, I'll do it, but you have to untie me. But now Tom says, no, you're a good person. I shouldn't have asked you to do this. It's his job to protect her. He asks her not to run away in the meantime. Tom walks up and tries to tough guy act the co-worker while she tries to find a way out. After a lot of talking, Angela screams for him to stop before he hits the guy. He does a little fake out and starts beating the shit out of him anyway. He drops a one-liner and comes back, gets the car started and backs up. Angela asks Tom to let the guy go. They can't leave him there. Tom agrees. The car goes into drive and now everyone is moving into a wall. And Tom double taps and then he triple taps. And Angela finds an opportunity for escape. Tom is very offended and Angela keeps running. Tom is occupied with the body. She tries to call for help, but to no avail. She gets her hands to the front of her and keeps moving. She found her way back to Tom's office. She enters and Rocky doesn't hold back. She attempts to crawl to her purse as Rocky keeps on her. She grabs it, but Rocky plays tug of war with it. Her phone has been acquired though, so that's a win. She leaves the office and runs. Tom's whereabouts are unknown. She finds a gate and starts yelling through it, but this homeless lady just mimics her. She reaches through and tries to call 911, but drops the phone. She breaks her nail trying to reach for it. She tries to speak to it, asking for help, but now Tom is approaching and she's stuck in the gate. He walks up and she's hiding. She's gotten away from him, but no matter what she tries, she can't find a way out. She sees him getting closer and finally, she gets through a door to the elevator. She's inside, but the buttons are locked. The door opens again and Tom is deadpan staring at her through the other door. He enters, but the elevator closes before he gets to her. The door opens once more and now she emergency locks it. She tries to ask for help. Someone answers her and she asks for him to call 911 and explains what's happened. Oh, he's a parking attendant, not a security guard. Oops. That's how much I know about these buildings. The guy tells her to calm down and she freaks out. The accent slowly falls off as we find out it's been Tom the whole time. She tells him she's called the cops, but Tom just wants to talk. It was all just a silly little joke. He goes on a delusional rant as Angela breaks down. He stops talking and watches her through the camera. A sound is heard above. It's Tom opening up a different door and looking down at her. He starts dropping a hose down the elevator shaft, and Angela gets up. He turns the water on. Clearly he's trying to flood her out of there, and it's filling fast. She yells at him as he turns up the pressure. Flashing lights are ahead. The electricity starts to falter, and water is getting higher. Something falls into the water with her. When she comes back up, we see it's Carl, the security guard. Angela releases the emergency lock and checks on Carl, but it's not looking good for him. Flashing lights are over. She exits the elevator hall and has to leave Carl behind, but Tom is already on her trail and can see her wet footprints. She's hiding under a car while he's having a meltdown about being lonely. He's popping tires now and she's forced to run. Tom goes back to Carl and is being petty. Angela is understandably having a breakdown, and Tom feels like playing some Elvis. He's dancing and lip syncing while watching Angela. Okay, real talk quickly, Elvis reminds me of, obviously, the Kings of Tupelo documentary on Netflix. My boyfriend and I watched it a while back and it was so fucking good. So if you're looking for something to watch, I recommend that. We were obsessed with it and we still talk about it. Okay, back to it. Tom is rocking out and Angela gets up. She grabs a fire axe and starts smashing cameras with it. Tom is having too much fun. She's nearing his office while wielding her axe. His performance ends and she makes her way to the door. She opens it and something is playing. A video of Tom dolling her up while she was passed out. She stops to watch in horror. It's very hard to watch. She breaks the TV and notices that cops have arrived at a gate. She tries to speak to them, but she can't figure it out, and Tom comes up and tases her before the chance arises. He cleans up his office while the cops wait. When he's finished, he speaks. They want the gate open and he has to oblige. He tases Angela more, cleans himself up, and goes to the cops. They're let in and they chat. Doesn't know about any disturbance. The cops are going to look around and they offer Tom a ride back to his office. He closes the gate behind them and hops in. He gets dropped off and they keep driving. He follows them on the cameras. They drive past the car that Angela has been dumped into, and she wakes up. Tom keeps following the cops in the meantime and goes back to Angela Cam. She's trying to find a way out. Angela starts screaming for help, and Tom fixes this with Christmas music over the speakers, and the cops keep driving. They stop by Tom and ask him questions about the night while Angela is fighting for an escape. The cops are ready to leave, and Angela has smashed her way through and gets out, screaming for the cops to wait. Tom opens the gate. Angela is running, the cops pull out, and she's too late. Tom is already waiting with Rocky. She starts running, and he lets Rocky loose. A chase is happening now between Rocky and Angela. She breaks her way into a car and waits. Rocky jumps in, and a fight ensues. He climbs in, and she stabs Rocky. It's very messy, and I'm sorry to any dog lovers out there. She lets herself out of the car and goes towards a rental office. She busts her way in and finds a phone. She calls 911, but she's put on hold. She breaks into a lockbox and pulls out a car key. Tom is on the prowl, and she's still on hold. He notices the bloody mess on a car and finds Rocky. He is very distraught by this, and she starts picking her handcuff lock. He hones in on the rental office and notices the bloody handprints and enters. Taser at the ready. He walks around carefully and investigates. The police are on the phone and he hangs up. He walks around more as she's obviously been here. He acts as delusional as ever and we get a glimpse of Angela hiding. He gets closer and noticed a bloody cloth sticking out of a door. He opens it and it's a dead end. But Angela's behind him and sprays him in the eyes with something. Now she's running, finding the car that the keys belong to. Tom is stumbling after, but he's locked in and is trying to break out. She finds the car and enters. Tom breaks a window and Angela gets moving, struggling to gain control and still handcuffed. Driving up to a gate, she gets swiped by another car, and it's Tom. Angela gets moving, but Tom is ready to follow. They both pull out and are facing each other, and now it's a standoff, quickly becoming a game of chicken. Angela isn't playing games. They both speed up to each other in a tense scene. Tom turns and Angela keeps going, but he's already following closely behind again. Angela hits a bad turn and the car flips. Tom steps out and walks towards her. She appears to be knocked out and he checks on her. She opens her eyes and stabs him right in the eye. Behind him now, she chokes him with the handcuffs. He drops the taser and gets knocked out. She unlocks herself and handcuffs him to the car and tumbles out of his reach. She grabs the taser and faces him, noticing the oil pooling out. Tom tries to reason, "Boo-hoo, I'm lonely." She turns away and he boo-hoos more.
So I wasn't boo-hooing. I was...
Yeah, you were.
Can you not mock me, please? I was
Make it hard.
Ben gets offended and calls her a stupid fucking cunt. She stops to look at him, kneels down with the taser, tells him Merry Christmas, and lights that oil up. Shitting his pants, he starts screaming, and in a beautiful scene is lit the fuck up, all while Angela makes her getaway. She has his keys now and lets herself out. Free from the parking garage now, we see her walking down a snowy street. The screen goes black, but there's audio of police arriving and checking on Angela, and that's the movie. Let's get into my afterthoughts. Okay, this movie was still so good. I haven't watched it for a good amount of years, but I was still really into it. And I really do think that this is a hidden gem. Let's go through my bullet points. What did I think of the story? Doesn't matter how many times I could have seen this movie, I was still so enthralled with what was happening. It's hard to necessarily pinpoint like a direct storyline when this is a movie about survival and there's so many, I don't know, twists, turns, and stops. I don't know. But the writing was so good. And Tom being pissed about that one guy coming on to Angela when he was genuinely no different, but he was so delusional, he really thought he was the hero of the story. Like, I don't know, man. I just think the writing for this was crazy good. What about the ending? The ending was perfect. Like, Tom got what he deserved and Angela got her freedom. I'd like to think after a presumable trip to the hospital that she got to enjoy Christmas with her family. It really was just a perfect ending, and I guess that's really all I can say about it. Overall thoughts? I mean, nothing I haven't already said. The writing and the acting was just on point. Tom was a fucking nightmare. The setting was a nightmare. It was claustrophobic yet not claustrophobic. I don't know. Some scenes really gave me goosebumps. Tom will live on in my personal nightmares, and I might avoid parking garages in the foreseeable future. Favorite kill? Oh, come on. I mean, obviously Tom. What a satisfying end to such a terrifying man. Best and worst character? I mean, no surprises here. Angela's top tier, a badass bitch who never gave up and kept fighting, and Tom was fucking terrifying. Such a well done and thought out villain, and the delusion level was just insane. As for the tier list, I put P2 up top. I love this movie and I'll definitely watch it again when I want to be a fucked up little gremlin next year around the holidays. And with the character Hall of Fame, Angela has made it up, which is our first edition since I've created this. I just found myself rooting for Angela through and through. She was badass. And even though I've seen this before and like I knew she got out in the end, it's just so well done, and her actress did such a good job that I don't know, I was just rooting for her all over again. So she made it into the Hall of Fame. You go, girl. Well, that's it. I've made it through my talking points. I'm going to attempt to post these weekly. Like, I have fun with these and it keeps my brain busy. I might slow down around the holidays for obvious reasons. I'd like to enjoy them and spend time with my boyfriend and our cat. Anyways, if you liked this, then feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Do what you want. I can't tell you what to do. My socials are down below, and I'm actually a little more active on Twitter now, but it's a lot of girl world, like Amberlyn Reed slop. Thank you so much for watching and being here. I hope to see y'all in episode 12, where we will cover another random horror movie. Stay safe and spooky, y'all.